what's going on, guys? This is Jeff from LiveSportsTalk, and I'm here with David Todd, host of 970 ESPN and Steeler Nation Radio, as well as co-host of the Terrible Podcast. David, thanks for being here today.
Hey, Jeff, always a pleasure. How are things?
They're pretty good. How are you?
Thanks. Just finished up Steelers fit padded practices. So they've been out there for a little over a week now, and this is the last week of really the whole season where they'll go a full week of practice without having a game other than the bye week in week 4. So they're getting some good work done. Definitely some feisty stuff in practice. Worked on the 2-minute drill for the first time today. So they're making progress. And obviously the good news is no big injuries to report. Some slight pulls here and there. Lamar Woodley missed the second day today, but generally seem relatively healthy, which is always obviously a good thing.
Good to hear. Good to hear. So, obviously the biggest news this offseason for the Steelers is Mike Wallace with his contract. He's holding out. When do you expect to see him back in camp?
Mike Wallace all the time since February, yeah. I've been of the view that the Steelers wouldn't get a long-term done deal with Mike Wallace since February. It just never felt like the dollars that Mike Wallace was perceived to be wanting, and I was never one to believe that he was looking for Larry Fitzgerald money. But if he's looking for something north of $10 million, I always felt it was going to be tough. The fact that Antonio Brown has signed his contract now, I do honestly believe the Steelers would like to get Mike Wallace signed. They bring him back in the fold. The question is, they're not going to negotiate until he signs his tender, and then if he did turn down 5 years and $50 million like was reported, will that offer still be on the table with Brown under contract? And if they lower the offer, I can't imagine Mike's going to react very well to that. So when is he going to report? That's the $64,000 question. I don't think anybody has a good answer. I think there are kind of three things that might happen. One is maybe after the first preseason game next Thursday against the Eagles. That would be my first guess. That's what I think will happen. 2 would be kind of week 1 of the season, right as they go into the regular season. Maybe he comes back then because that's when the game checks start coming out, and he stands to earn $150,000, $170,000 a week, whatever it is, because you only get paid during the season. You don't get paid in the off season. It's a prorated during the 17 weeks. So he'll start to feel it in the wallet if he's not there in week 1. If he sits out week 1, well then maybe he pulls a Vincent Jackson and he doesn't come in until week 10 or 11. If he'll play the 6 games or be around the roster for 6 games to accrue the year of service, so that he could be an unrestricted free agent next year. So I put the odds at I'd kind of say I'll guess that it'll be about 10 days from now, 7 to 10 days from now, would still be where I am. That's where I've been all along. But if he gets past week 1, then I think you're probably looking at week 10 or 11.
Yeah, you got to hope he gets back as soon as possible because you never like to see guys holding out.
No, it's not. It's not good. I don't think if he came in today that he'd be much behind. I think he's got the playbook. He can figure this stuff out pretty quickly. But it is a new offense, new offensive coordinator, and there's always timing and route running with the quarterback. So the sooner the better for sure. I would just wait and see because it's totally in his court. The Steelers aren't going to budge.
Yeah. You also mentioned Antonio Brown's contract extension. What are your thoughts on that?
Great deal for the team. Good for Antonio. Very few guys have ever started 3 games in their career and signed a $42.5 million contract. So he's got the $8.5 million guarantee. He's young enough that I expect, without any unforeseen serious injury, he's going to make the full amount of that contract, which obviously will set him up for life. And it's a round marker, maybe even a little below marker for the Steelers. There's not a ton of guaranteed money, so if something were to happen, it's not going to be devastating to them in terms of a cap hit. So this is one of those deals where it looks like a win-win.
Yeah, he had a great year last year, even though he, like you said, he only started 3 games as a starter.
He's a tremendously talented kid, hard worker, exceptional this year, and I think people only think bigger and better going forward.
Exactly. So flipping over to the defense here, the Steelers released a couple veterans during the offseason, like James Ferrier and Casey Hampton. Do you think some of the new guys like Cortez and Spencer are going to be able to replace them well?
Sean Spence is the third-round pick, a linebacker. I don't know that Sean Spence is going to feel a lot this year. They're playing him inside. I think Larry Foote will be the starter in there, but Sean Spence has been impressive. The coaching staff likes him a lot. In terms of, I didn't hear exactly, just driving in the car here, I didn't hear exactly who else you asked about. But Cortez Allen looks good. He's right now the starting nickel in his second year. And there'll be some big competition for that starting corner opposite Keenan Lewis.
Yeah. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for doing the interview, as always. Really appreciate it.
Hey, Jeff, good to be with you. Thanks for having me.